Hello guys, welcome back to the Pisces Man, my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today we're doing something a little different. We're not looking at a monthly transit. We're not looking at a prediction. We're looking at two real charts and we'll try to understand something much deeper about them. Okay? Who are these people? Why did they come into each other's lives? What lessons are they teaching each other? And what does Vedic astrology actually say about their compatibility? If you'd like me to take a look at your own chart, feel free to leave your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and one question in the comments below. I do read through the comments and try to help as many people as I can. And if your question is more personal or private, you can always message me on Instagram at the PiscesMan001. I'll do my best to get back to you whenever I can. And thank you again for being here. I really appreciate your support. Okay. And if you enjoy these kind of videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below how these transits are showing up in your life, okay? Now, before we begin, remember, no astrologer can see every detail of a person's future. Charts can show tendencies, they show patterns, they show strengths, they show weaknesses, but free will, maturity, choices, and timing always matters. Okay, so let's start. The first chart belongs to a woman, okay, and the second chart belongs to her partner. And what immediately stands out is that these are not two simple charts. These are charts that have depth, okay? These are charts that have karma. These are charts that have a transformation written all over them, okay? So let's start with the female, okay? The woman's chart, her D1 chart. She has Gemini rising, okay? Gemini is number 3 here. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Whenever Mercury becomes the ruler of the first house, the person's life becomes heavily connected to thinking, to communication, learning, observing, and understanding other people. Okay, these people are rarely satisfied with surface level answers. They want to know why people behave the way they do, why relationships work, why life unfolds in certain ways, okay, why suffering exists. Okay, in her chart, Mercury rules both the first house and the fourth house. Okay, the first house, what's the first house? It represents the self, okay, the person themselves. The fourth house represents the inner emotional world, okay, their home. their security, their peace of mind. Okay, so immediately we see a person whose mind and emotions are deeply connected. When her thoughts are peaceful, she feels good. When her mind becomes overloaded, everything becomes overloaded. Okay, now look at Rahu. Rahu sits in the first house. This is one of the strongest placements in her chart. Rahu in the first house often create people who feel different from everyone around them. Okay, not better, not worse, just different. Many people with Rahu in their first house feel like they never completely fit into the environment they were born into. There's usually a feeling of searching for identity, searching for meaning, for purpose, okay? And that can continue into their adulthoods. Okay, let's talk about the most important placement in her chart, the Moon and Venus. Moon and Venus is in the 8th house. The Moon rules her 2nd house, and Venus rules her 5th and 12th house. Both planets sitting together in the 8th house. The 8th house is one of the deepest house in astrology. Okay, what does it represent? It is a house of transformation. Okay, a house of hidden emotions, psychology, trauma, healing, rebirth, losses. Okay, everything beneath the surface. This placement tells me that she is not emotionally shallow. She may appear calm, she may appear fine, but beneath the surface, there's usually much more happening. People with a strong 8th house energy often spend years trying to understand themselves. And once they begin understanding themselves, they naturally begin helping others. This is why she feels drawn towards healing. That's what she said when I spoke to her on Instagram. Okay? It's not because somebody told her that she is a healer, because her chart is pulling her towards understanding suffering. Okay? Many great therapists, counselors, healers, spiritual teachers have a very strong 8th house. Okay? Let's look at her Jupiter. Jupiter rules her 7th house and 10th house. That's relationships and career. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer in the 5th house. This is amazing. The ruler of relationships and career sits exalted in the house of creativity, wisdom, teaching, children, self-expression. Okay, this often creates somebody who teaches through experience. Okay, someone whose life lessons eventually become useful to other people. It also suggests that relationships have a major influence on her life direction. Relationships are not random events for her. Okay, they become part of her growth. Okay, now let's discuss Saturn. Saturn rules the 8th house and the 9th house, and Saturn sits in the 4th house. So the ruler of transformation and higher wisdom sits in the emotional foundation of the chart. Okay, this will create a person who mature through emotional challenges. Okay, life will teach them patience, life will teach them resilience. Okay, life teach them that peace cannot always come from external circumstances. Sometimes peace has to be built internally. Okay, now she asked me a question. Okay, she asked me, does this chart support healing? Yes, absolutely. Moon is in the 8th house, Venus is in the 8th house, Jupiter exalted, Mercury in the 9th house, Rahu in the 1st house, Saturn influencing the emotional foundation. Okay, but we must be careful. The chart does not say psychic or medium or something more. The chart says something like something more grounded. She has a natural ability to understand pain, and understanding pain is the foundation of healing. Okay, and many people think healing means spirits. Okay, sometimes healing simply means sitting beside somebody and helping them carry their burden. Okay, that's healing, helping others, simple things. Okay, now that's her. Now let's move to the partner. Okay, this is her partner's D1 chart. So he has Taurus rising. So Taurus is the number 2 here. Okay, ruled by Venus. Okay, at first glance, Taurus people, they often appear calm, stable, grounded, practical. Okay, but this chart is way deeper than that, because Venus rules both the 1st and 6th house. Venus is sitting in the 9th house together with Sun. Immediately we see somebody who values meaning, who values principles, believes, he values growth, he wants life to make sense. Okay, he doesn't simply want comfort, he wants understanding. Okay, let's discuss Mars. Mars rules the 7th and 12th house. Okay, Mars sits in the 10th house. The ruler of relationships sits in the career house. Very important. The relationships and responsibilities become linked. Okay, he takes commitment very seriously, but it also creates somebody who approaches relationships almost like a task, a mission. Okay, sometimes becoming too focused on fixing problems. Okay, and that's how this person perceives relationships. Okay, it's like a checklist. Okay, now let's look at Jupiter. Jupiter rules the 8th and 11th house. Jupiter is in the 7th house. And this is one of the strongest relationship indicators in the chart. Jupiter in the 7th will often create somebody who genuinely wants partnership, who values growth through partnerships, okay, who learns through partnerships. But because Jupiter also rules the 8th house, okay, the 8th house, the relationships will become transformative. Okay, the relationships change this person. Okay, they can force him to evolve. Okay, so they improve in relationships, they upgrade themselves in relationship, they change. Mercury. Okay, Mercury rules the 2nd house and the 5th house, and Mercury sits in the 8th house. So this is one of the reasons communication works differently for him. Mercury in the 8th house will create a person who thinks deeply before speaking. Okay, people who analyze everything, people who process internally. They're often talking to themselves mentally long before they speak to anyone else. Okay, this is exactly why when I spoke to this person and she described him as somebody who seems to talk directly from his thoughts. Okay, he often thinks out loud. Okay, not because he lacks a filter, because his mind is constantly processing. Let's look at his D9 chart. Okay, this is the man's Navamsha chart, his D9 chart. His D9 rises in Pisces. Okay, this changes everything because beneath the practical Taurus exterior sits a deeply emotional and sensitive person. The sun sits in the ascendant of D9 chart. This creates pride. Okay, he's a very proud person. Identity. Strong personal values. Moon in the 2nd house will create emotional attachment to loved ones. Mars in the 10th house will create ambition. Saturn in the 11th house will create loyalty, but also caution when trusting people. The more you study his D9 chart, the more you realize that this is not a cold person like he appears to other people. This is a person who feels very deeply but does not always express it easily. Okay? Okay, so we've seen both of the charts. Now let's talk about compatibility. The first thing that I notice is that both these charts have strong transformational signatures here. Okay, both of them are interested in deep relationships. None of them want superficial relationship. Okay, they don't want casual. Both of them want something strong, something long lasting. Okay, both of them want depth. Okay, the woman has Moon and Venus in the 8th house. The man has Jupiter and Mercury connected to the 8th house. Both are drawn towards understanding hidden layers of life. Both want meaning. Both want authenticity. Both want something real. This creates a powerful attraction. The second reason that this chart is compatible is because both of the charts have strong Jupiter influence. Jupiter creates growth, it expands, okay? It expands learning, wisdom, lessons, okay? It also expands negatives, okay? This relationship feels like a relationship where both people teach each other, okay? There's also issues here, so let's discuss the problems, okay? Why they struggle. Communication. It's not love, it's communication. She is Gemini rising, Mercury ruled. She processes by talking, by sharing, by exploring ideas. He is processing internally. Mercury is in the 8th house, Jupiter in Scorpio. Strong, fixed sign energy. He often needs time. She wants clarity immediately. This creates misunderstandings. So she can think, why isn't he saying anything? Meanwhile, he's processing, he's thinking. Okay? He thinks everything is fine. She has already spent 3 days thinking about it. Anything. Okay? And this is probably the biggest challenge in the relationship. It's not the lack of love, it's different communication styles. The D9 compatibility chart. Okay, so I've read the D9 chart and checked compatibility through it. Okay, this gives us a deeper idea because D9 is like the soul. Okay, her D9 chart is Aries. His D9 chart is Pisces. Aries always moves. It wants to move. It wants to go around, fix things. And Pisces wants feeling. Okay? Aries wants a Aries wants a direction to move in. It's direct. Okay? Pisces wants understanding. Sometimes she will want answers immediately. Sometimes he will need more emotional space. This will create friction. But it also creates growth because both people learn something they do not naturally possess. Okay, the biggest lesson of this relationship is it's not romance, it's understanding. She's learning that not everybody processes emotions through conversation. He's learning that silence is not always communication. Okay, the charts do not show a perfect relationship. Honestly, I rarely see perfect relationships in astrology. What they show is a meaningful relationship. A relationship that forces both people to mature. A relationship that challenges them to understand each other. And sometimes those are the relationships that change us the most. The real lesson of this chart is very simple. Love is not finding somebody exactly like you. Love is learning how to understand somebody who sees the world differently from you. And when two people are willing to do that, this Vedic astrology, all these other things that people are looking for compatibility, they stop being about compatibility scores. Okay, they start becoming something much more important. It becomes growth. Okay, together. All right. So I hope you guys liked what I just said and understood each other. Hopefully. Thank you for watching, and if you guys want me to do your personal chart, birth readings, compatibility readings, I would be happy to do so. Just leave a comment down below. I need your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and one question. And if you have something personal, you can send me a message on my Instagram, the Pisces Man 001. Take care. All the best. See you in the next video.